The Russian nuclear-powered missile cruiser Admiral Nakhimov has finally returned to the sea after years of undergoing massive modernization. On August 18, 2025, this giant warship began the stage of Factory C trials, also known as Builder's Trials. This stage was carried out after, in early January 2025, its nuclear reactor was successfully restarted for the first time after being inactive for so long. This trial is an important moment because it marks the return of one of Russia's largest and most powerful warships, which had not been in operation since the late 1990s. In essence, the ship is being tested to ensure that all of its new systems function according to standards before it is officially handed back to the Russian Navy for military operations. The Factory C trials are actually a standard stage in the process of building or modernizing a ship. These trials are not carried out by the Navy, but by the shipyard where the vessel is repaired. In this case, Sevmash in CIWS, northern Russia. The focus is to ensure that all the installed systems can work properly, from the reactor and engines to radars and weapons. If anything fails to work as intended, the shipyard must fix it before the vessel is handed back. So, in short, the Factory C trials are the final verification stage of years of work. Afterward, military acceptance trials are conducted. In the case of Admiral Nakhimov, this is a major milestone because this ship is not just any vessel, but a massive nuclear cruiser from the legendary Kirov class. According to reports, the initial testing phase will be conducted in the White Sea, a body of water near CIWS. In this enclosed sea, various basic systems will be tested, such as maneuverability, speed, ship control, and the performance of its nuclear reactor. Once proven safe, the trials will continue in the larger Barents Sea to test combat capabilities and long-range operations. The entire process could take months, even more than a year, depending on the results of the tests and any required repairs. Therefore, although the ship has returned to sea, it may only be truly ready to rejoin Russia's combat fleet in 2026. The journey of Admiral Nakhimov itself has been long and complicated. The ship was first laid down at the Baltic shipyard in Leningrad in 1983 under the original name Kalibr. 3 years later, in April 1986, the hull was launched, and by the end of 1988, it officially joined the Soviet Northern Fleet. The ship belongs to the Kirov class, the largest nuclear-powered missile cruisers ever built, with dimensions nearly equal to a small aircraft carrier. Its presence during the Cold War shocked NATO due to its massive size and extremely powerful armament. However, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, many of these large ships could not be properly maintained by Russia due to financial constraints. The name Kalinin was later changed to Admiral Nakhimov in 1992, in honor of Admiral Pavel Stepanovich Nakhimov, one of Russia's greatest naval heroes, known for his role in the Crimean War. Unfortunately, despite its distinguished name, the ship did not remain long in active service. In 1997, only 9 years after joining the fleet, it was decommissioned due to deteriorating technical conditions and prohibitively high maintenance costs. Since 1999, the vessel has been at Sevmash awaiting its fate. The modernization process only truly began in earnest in 2013. After years of lying idle, the overhaul carried out was extremely extensive. Almost all of the main systems were dismantled, from radars and weapon systems to its nuclear reactor. The ship's hull, 252 meters long and displacing around 26,000 to 28,000 tons at full load, was then fitted with modern equipment. Practically, it could be said the ship became a new vessel built on an old body. This modernization cost a huge amount of money. But for Russia, reviving a ship of this size and power was considered essential for balancing global naval power. Admiral Nakhimov is now equipped with modern systems and a new AK-192M 130mm main gun, replacing its outdated artillery. The most striking feature, however, is its powerful missile arsenal. The cruiser is armed with Zircon hypersonic missiles, Kalibr cruise missiles capable of striking both land and sea targets, and advanced naval versions of the S-400 and Parliamentary Dutt layered air defense systems. It is also fitted with Paket-NK anti-submarine torpedoes and Pantsir-M close-in weapon systems, CIWS, to provide the last line of defense against incoming missiles and aircraft. All of these weapons are integrated into 80 universal vertical launch cells, 3S-14/UKSKVLS, capable of deploying Kalibr, Oniks, and Zircon missiles. For air defense, the ship employs a multi-layered system consisting of the Ford-M SVN-6 Grumble and the Pantsir-M CIWS, which combines missiles and autocannons, and the Redut Naval Air Defense VLS. With this arsenal in place, Admiral Nakhimov stands among the most heavily armed surface combatants in the world. Coupled with modern electronic warfare and combat management systems, the cruiser is projected to become the centerpiece of Russia's Northern Fleet. Although it is more than 30 years old, this massive modernization has given Admiral Nakhimov capabilities equivalent to a new warship. Its electronics have been updated, its weaponry modernized, and its propulsion still relies on a nuclear reactor, allowing it to sail long distances without frequent refueling. This is crucial for long-range operations, for example to the Atlantic Ocean or even the Pacific. With its combat capacity, the ship can participate in a wide range of modern operations, striking land targets, destroying enemy vessels, protecting fleets, and repelling air attacks. Russia hopes that with Admiral Nakhimov's return, it can enhance its power projection at sea, particularly against NATO. The plan going forward, after completing all sea trial phases, is for Admiral Nakhimov to officially rejoin Russia's Northern Fleet in 2026. It will replace its sister ship, Pyotr Veliky, which has now been retired. Thus, even though only one active Kirov-class vessel will remain, Russia will still possess a symbol of naval power that commands deep respect. For Russia, the presence of this ship is more than just a weapon of war. It is a symbol of pride, a legacy of the Soviet era that they continue to preserve, and also a political message to the world that they still have the capability to operate giant nuclear-powered warships. Looking back at its history, Admiral Nakhimov truly deserves to be called a ship that has risen from the grave. Imagine, since 1997, it has been inactive, more than 2 decades lying idle at the shipyard awaiting its fate. Many believe the ship would never return, just like its retired sisters. But the decision to modernize and revive it shows how important Soviet era symbols still are to Russia. Now, this once nearly forgotten ship is finally preparing to become the spearhead of the Russian Navy once again.